what I want to talk to you about is how you can access the homework from the iPads. And we are going to, I need to just do something else. Just give me one more second. Okay. I think Dr. White, did you start recording this? I'm going to start recording so we can have this for the folks who can't join us. If I can remember how to do recording. Boy, I'm just not having a very secure day here. Here's my recording. Oh, recording has started. Okay, or it looks like it started. Yes. Okay, then that's going to be embarrassing because I'll be on this now with not being silly. So anyway, welcome parents. Welcome to pre-K meeting tonight on how in the world do I do homework. And there's a couple of things I want to show you. First, I want to talk to you about QR codes. Hopefully you've gotten QR codes that should look something like this with your, or actually more like this, with your students' information on it. And they're going to, we're going to use that today, and then we'll talk about how else you might be able to enter into your student's iPad. You should have an iPad, and I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to start up an iPad. And can everybody see my screen? Hopefully you can. And when you see the screen, this should look something like your iPad for your students. I am going to, Dr. White, I know you're in a meeting. Can you help? Can you manage the letting people in for me? Thank you. So we're going to
see your screen. We can't see your screen.
Oh, I forgot to share my screen. That is so, why am I having a bad day? There you go. Can you see it now?
Yes, we're good to go.
Okay, awesome. So I just. Okay. Miss Angie, since I see you and you are sort of, actually, I need to make somebody a co-host, so give me a second because I can't do it all. Miss De Leon, you're here, so I'm going to make you a co-host, and that means you can let people in the waiting room for me. Okay? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, parents, for being so patient. So we can see my screen now. We can see what it looks like. We can see that we had QR codes there, and now I'm going to mirror I'm going to just mirror this to the screen for you so you can see what it looks like. And I'm going to try and talk slowly. So if you need me to slow down or repeat something, please feel free to put it in the chat or raise your hand and unmute yourselves and let us in, and we should be fine with that. So from this screen here, you're going to click class link. Now you'll get the class link sign here, and you should get this screen, and I will go over it, what to do if you don't get the screen. When you click this, you see this little icon right here with the little squares. You're going to click on that, and that will open up the camera. And when you open up the camera, you will then be able to scan the QR code. And the QR code will then take you to the student's login information. You'll get the screen. Now, all the other apps that were on the screen before, you can't really click on. If you click on here, this is how you're going to get to the accurate student, the correct student, is by going in this way. First thing I'm going to do is show you Seesaw. So I'm just going to click on Seesaw. And I just use my finger and it's there, and it will load up for us. You might see this little icon here. Just tap it with your finger, and your students can do this too. Your children can do this too. And you'll get something that looks like this. You might only get your students' work here, and that's fine. But right now we're going to I'm going to just click on a sample student and show you how to them once you get that. Because once you see that the journal shows your students' work, the activities button right here is what the assignments are. So I'm going to click on sample student. I'm going to click on activities. And then these are the activities that the students can then admit us. Sorry, guys. Then they can answer these questions. So we're going to go through the first one. Okay, she's on now. I'm going to go through the first one, assignment here, and I'm just going to let you take a look at this. And I'm going to see where it says add a response. When I click on add a response, it's going to load the work that the student has to do. And you can see here that you don't have QR codes. Okay, well, we'll figure out how I'm going to answer those questions. I'll back up and go over how to get into ClassLink again, and we'll take a look at that. But when we're in Seesaw, your students will have these activities here and these icons here. Actually, I'm going to just back up and just start over with how to get in there, because I feel like that will be more fluid for everybody. So I'm just going to back up and enter out. This is the screen that you should see. On here, you should see the icon ClassLink, and you're just going to click on that. When you click on ClassLink, you should see this sign here. It should look like this screen. Then you should see this little 4 box. If you don't have the 4 boxes, you can click on this, and you can put in your students' information there with their username and password if you've gotten that. And that will take you to the same page we're going to go to through with the QR codes. So if you have the QR codes, we're going to click on the 4 boxes. It will open up the camera. You can see the camera's opened. And now I'm going to just scan the QR code, and it will bring me into my student's or child's work, and you'll get the screen this way. If you have the email address, username, and then the password for your child, you would still come to this very same screen here. I'm sorry. Okay, she's letting folks in. Okay, so we have this here. I'm going to click on Seesaw. We're going to start with Seesaw. We're going to click on that. Again, if you go into Seesaw, you might see this login to Seesaw. You're just going to click on the screen, and it will take you into that. Clearly, I clicked on something else, but it will log us in. We're already signed in, so I just clicked OK to that message, and we came up. This is what you should see when your child sits down with their work. This work here is work that has been submitted. And then this work where it says activities, that's where your student's going to get their assignment. I'm going to click on the sample student for us because I want to show you how you would answer an assignment. So I'm going to click on activities, and these are the assignments that this child has. So we're going to, I want to go back out because I see I'm not in the correct student. Shoot. All right. We're going to go to add response. And it's going to then load the work that we need to do. Down at the bottom of your screen here, you will see the tools that the student has access to. And over here as well, you'll see the tools that you have access to. I'm going to walk us through those tools right now. I just have to move some things out of the way. And here, I can just use my finger, or students can use a stylus. This is a stylus. They have a little spongy end. I can use that. We're going to use the finger, and it's asking me to click on the sparkly pen. And here's the sparkly pen right here. So on the iPad, I'm going to touch the sparkly pen. I can change the color for those that want a different color. And I'm going to follow the instructions with my finger by just moving down, up, and down. 1, 2, and 3. So that's one page. Now I'm going to just click on the next page. And in this one, I have to use the moving tool. And the moving tool is the finger with the little box around it. So I need to come down to the bottom and click on the finger. And then I can move my finger around like that. And I can make the car move. There's something else very cool I'd like to show you guys, if I may, while we're working here, because the students can then hit the record button also. And I'm going to start recording. And I'm going to use my finger again, and I'm going to move that around. I'm going to come over and make the M. And then I can hit up in the upper corner here. See that? I'm going to hit done. And what that did was record all the moves that I made with that. So now the teacher or the student can now press the triangle in the middle, the play icon. And I'm going to use my finger again, and I'm going to move that around. I'm going to come over and make the M. And then I can hit up in the upper corner here. See that? I'm going to hit cancel that out because I don't want that to really be saved. But you see how the students can use the different tools that are built in here? I'm going to go back in and we're going to just take a look at some of the other tools for this activity as well. And what I want to also point out is up here in the upper right-hand corner, you have draft. Maybe your child is working at grandma's house and didn't finish their work. They can just click the draft and then they can come home and work with you. And when they're complete, they'll complete the work. They'll hit the check, the green check, and say, I want to submit this to my teacher. So they can do that. Or maybe they're taking a break and they want to come back to it. They can come back to the draft and they can then finish up their work. I'm going to take a peek at the chat because I see that there are some questions in here. When I scan it. Okay, so we're going to work on getting you QR codes, I believe, and okay, that's if you don't know much English, I will try to slow down, and please feel free to, if you can, work with your teacher on this, and we can always sit with you and show you how to do that, you know, if we need to do that as well. I have a code, but when I click on class link, it asks for a login to Seesaw. I will go through the steps again, and then I'll ask you to clarify if that's working for you. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about the tools, about how your student's going to submit their work and get an understanding of that? You guys nobody has any questions for that? Thank you, Miss Angie. I hope I'm being clear. I just want to make sure I'm helping you the best I can. The code should be being sent home with your student. And maybe they haven't gone home yet because remember, we're just starting homework this week. So maybe they haven't come home yet. And I know some people might be having some issues with the codes. We're going to work on that and try and fix that for those of you who have that issue with the codes.
Dr. White said she would resend them, and she said in the chat she'll resend them again.
Send them till on Monday. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ashley.
And Sean,
yes.
Some of the families were already signed on when we gave them the iPads. We signed them in completely and we gave them.
Yes, but when you go in, okay, so that's a good point. So, but when you go in for Waterford, I'm going to just come out of here for a minute. When we go in for Waterford, I have to remember, I'm trying to click my screen. I need to click my iPad. They have to sign back in with the QR code because that is timed. So they need to go into that. It logs them out. It's not going to keep them in there. Seesaw will hold the login. So you might see this here, this little thing here. that will hold the login, so they might not have to log in every time that they go to use Seesaw, but for Waterford, they will. I'm just gonna click here again and just show you. Actually,
On my son's iPad, there's no class link
there is
installed
no,
in it.
okay, let's just, are you seeing something like this? You might have to swipe screens, and that's just swiping to the left to see if the class link comes up.
I found it. Thank you.
No problem. You know, you're not the first person who's asked that question. That's how I knew how to answer it. So it happens to everybody. So, so we're going to click on the class link. Oh, I have to close it out because I want to start over. Sorry, guys. Oh, here I am in class link for this student, and that should hold it open. If it doesn't hold it open, since I'm still in here, you might have to scan it again. We're going to also use the Reading Academy, right? Now, the teachers may be doing that once or twice a week, asking you to have them do that at home. And it's going to build their foundational reading skills for the students. So they're just going to click on this, and it should take them to their login. And right now, we're working on an assessment for the students. So I'm not going to touch this one because I'm not the child, and I want them to be able to take the assessment free and clear, so we can have the student will do that. So when an assessment comes up for the students, though, please don't help them. I know we want them to get everything right. I have a 17-year-old who's going off to college, and I wanted to help her get everything right. Actually, she begged me to stop helping her with her homework at one point. But the point is that it's okay for them to get those answers wrong. And why is it okay to get those answers wrong? Because the computer will adjust to where they are and give them the practice of the skills and content areas that they need help with. And so they will get them right, then they'll get them right. They'll get the pre-lessons, they'll get interaction with that. So even if we're doing assessments at home, let's not help our students. Let's try to make sure that they know how to answer the question, right? Maybe they don't know to click. You can say you click on the one that you think is best, but don't say this one's the best, even though we want to help them with that and we want them to be successful. When we do that, we're really not helping them be successful. Why? Because we're taking them beyond their functional level or their understanding. So again, I'm just going to say it's what I call productive struggle, and it's okay for them to have that, the experience. And so if we're doing the assessments with that, when they're doing though the homework, it will say Waterford Reading. They'll just click on that. You may want to have headsets at home for them, but my experience tells me when the kids are doing this, they sing and they say the alphabet really loud. So get used to that, and make sure that if it annoys you, because sometimes when our children sing, it is kind of like, okay, bring it down a little. They're doing it someplace that they can do it freely and feel comfortable with. I hope that makes sense. If anybody wants to add on that. Yes, Gail's already, Gail, I'll show them how they can do that too, how to get in from the web page, okay? Any questions about where to find these things? So right now, what we're going to mostly be working in, and teachers, you correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to be mostly working in the Waterford Reading and the Seesaw app. These other areas are not going to be applicable to our little pre-K guys. But as they get older, they may be seeing things like the social studies, there'll be Sora, we might have them do a Nearpod from time to time, but those things would probably not be taking place at home. Does that make sense at this point? So any questions for me? Okay, it gives you an error code. Will you reach out to your, Ms. Silva, can you reach out to your teacher and we'll find out why you're getting an error code? I can show people though where they can, if you can't get to it if you can't get to class link and you want to access it from the web, you can access it from the Mount Vernon page. If you have another device at home, I don't think I have the app on here, so I'm just gonna stop mirroring this for a minute. I'm gonna come out to my page here, and I'll walk you through this way. Okay, if you can, this screen here, the Mount Vernon website page, right here it says students. You can click on instructional technology links, and then you'll see the MVP. The MVP is this just another name for ClassLink. So you'll just click on here and you'll be able to, instead of going to the QR code, you'll go to the single sign-on. And we have the single, you'll see here now, we have the same things here. I was just able, because I'm signed in, this is actually my single sign-on. This is not what I wanted to show you. So, but you'll, once you're signed in there, you can do that. You can sign in.
When you're in class, what is the login for Seesaw? After you get into class and use a QR code, you go to Seesaw.
It says that just tap on that little button that says log in. Just tap on that little button and it should take you right in there.
It's not, it's asking for an email, etc.
It should not be at, are you,
You click the log.
let
I
me
went
bring
into
up my screen again.
Seesaw official. When I click Seesaw official, it says log in to Seesaw. I click log into Seesaw. It says, I'm a teacher, I'm a student. And then it asks for a sign in. I tried the QR code again, the same one for ClassLink, that didn't log it in. I tried
No,
the
that's not-
email password at Mount Vernon CSE, that didn't work, so.
Yeah, that you, right, that's not gonna work. So let me ask you, who's your, what teacher are you working with?
Rapillo?
Ms. Rapillo? Okay. I can, Ms. Rapillo, reach out to me and let's see what we can do. I'm in district on tomorrow, but I'm already booked. And on Friday, I could probably go to the school. Maybe you could send in the app, the iPad, and I can take a look at it, or we can set up a time maybe when you can come in and I can take a look at it there. I don't know if that would work for you because you might be working, you might have other things going on.
Sean,
Ms.
I don't know if
DeLeon?
this is off. Yeah, so that was happening to some of my kids too on their iPad. So what I ended up doing, and it worked for me. So I'm sure Miss Rapillo knows that, and she'll be able.
She
to
can do it, yeah.
Yeah, there. When you go on, I had to like get their iPad, so I would just ask the parents to bring it in, and then I would pull up the QR code that's on like
The
Seesaw
screen.
when you go to students, and then just put their iPad there, and their name popped up because some of the
Some
logins
are not working, maybe they're not copied right, maybe they're
Like,
too
if-
thin, maybe there's something wrong with it that way.
but
That
if
makes
you send
sense.
the iPad to school, like it can just go on and it'll sign them in automatically. I'll tell Miss
then-
Rapillo too. I'm sure she knows, but that was something that was happening with our kids, and that helped. So
Hi.
Okay.
the parent, yeah.
Can I just jump in there? I'm Addison Clark's mom. I'm in Miss Rapillo's class. She's in Miss Rapillo's class. I was having that problem as well. And what she did was you have to initially sign in on the school Wi-Fi the first time you're signing in so that it picks up that your child is a
registers you.
student.
Right.
And
it
then
kind of
I was able
registers
to,
you.
yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the help because you guys are on the front lines. I know that how it's supposed to work. Sometimes I don't know the glitches that we run into, but that's what's happening. So maybe we need to get you back in so that we can get you on the Wi-Fi and sign you in that way, and it should work.
Yeah,
Um,
anyone that's having trouble, they could just, if you just send your iPad, in the next couple of days with your child, and then I'll set it up and make sure that everything's working.
You are in very good hands with all these pre-K teachers, I have to tell you. They love your students and they're there to support them, and you're in very good hands, parents. So I did notice that somebody said they had, and I don't really want to call out, but their English was limited, and I want to make sure I am giving you the information that you need. So if you can type in the chat, if you need me to repeat something. Okay, so he was able to get into the Reading Academy, but not the Seesaw. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. You'll send in the iPad tomorrow. Okay. All right. Thank you. Dr. White, is there anything else or teachers? Sean, could you please let me know how to, anything else? I see Ashley looking, she's. Okay, I want to show you one other thing. If for some reason when you log in and you see this instead of the screen I had up before, when you click on Seesaw, on ClassLink, there's a lot of people, a lot of school districts around the country using it. If you come over to the search bar and just type in MT, you don't even have to type in Mount Vernon. You come down, you'll see MT, you'll click here, and it will take you right back to that screen there. So I'm just going to repeat that so you guys can get a feel for it. So if you come here, I'm going to move that out so you can see it. You'll see lots and lots of screens. You could theoretically scroll through all of them, but who wants to do that? Just type the MT, and then you'll see Mount Vernon. You'll click there, and you'll go through there, and you'll get back. And then you can either go in this way, putting in the student ID, their username, and at mtvernoncsd.org, and then their password, and they can sign into ClassLink that way as well. All right, and again, if you have the QR codes, it should just, I'm gonna just do this again, just for practice purposes, should just bring us in there. And when I click on this, it says log. See, this is what I get, the login. I just click on that and it says I'm a teacher, and then it still brings us in and takes us to the student's work, even though those things are spinning. So I didn't click on anything until it brought me to this. All right. Any other questions, concerns, parents? All right. Okay, now I'm going to see if Dr. White would like to say any closing words or have me show you something else. I know is she still in a meeting? She might still be in a meeting. All right, parents and teachers, that's how you can do Seesaw. That's how you can do the Reading Academy. I think Seesaw is a wonderful product. I really liked how I can record myself. Students can record themselves and share their information with the students when they want to. They can just hit the add button sometimes, and they can make creations on their own as well if they want to. They can go to the drawing tool and they can make a response without sometimes even being asked to do that. I'm going to again just show you a little bit of this. I'm going to click the draft, and what it will do when draft, it will then, you'll see here, it will put this save my work. Remember I mentioned earlier, you can go back in and you can save your work, then you can hit edit, and it will take me right back into the work and have me be able to finish it up and hit the submit button. Again, I'm not going to hit the submit button because I don't want that to go into the child's portfolio, and I can just delete it and it will go away. Okay. There's lots of fun tools in here that the kids can use. They can upload pictures. They can, when the more creative they want to do, they can do that as well. They can, again, as I said, they can upload a photo. If they had a photo of an M, maybe they could do it and do something else as well. Yes, we can send the recordings out. Dr. White Wallace will do that. Then we can see the, yes, we need to check on the, thank you, Miss Angie. If you're having issues with the kids signing in, please let your teachers know, and we'll try and get that fixed as best we can. Dr. White had said we're going to try again on Monday, getting these all corrected because there were some issues, and we're going to get these things fixed for you, and we'll get it working, and it should be smooth. All right. And of course, the recording, Dr. White will send the recording for this. And I love walking into the classrooms and being with the little guys and working with the teachers. I can't tell you again how much they really enjoy working with your students. It's a pleasure to be part of this team. And on that note, I'm going to say good night and have a fabulous rest of day. And again, if you want to, oh, thank you for the little heart. I like that very much. That was very kind of you. If you want to, you know, reach out to your teachers, I'm happy to send home information or meet with people when I can if that helps. All right, guys. Thank you again so very, very much. Does somebody have a comment? I don't want to cut somebody off, but I'm going to, if you've logged in late, we're going to send out the recording, so you'll get the information. You can also let your child's teacher know, and we will get you information on how to utilize the tools in here. All righty, guys, I'm going to end the meeting. Like I said, I feel a little guilty shutting somebody out, but it is 6:11, and I think we were good to go. So have a fabulous rest of evening. I really enjoyed meeting with you tonight. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, I love the voices, the little ones.